So the state of Illinois is ringing in the new year with what else? New environmental regulations.
On January 1st, the land of Lincoln will be the first state to require all new homes and apartment buildings to be equipped with electric vehicle charging stations as the, quote, right to charge movement gains steam. Currently, 10 states already have a right to charge policy in place, and a number are expected to grow as blue states look to jumpstart the Democrats' forced transition to EVs. Here with reaction, Heritage Foundation economist Peter St. Onge. Peter, it's great to have you with us. I want to get your reaction to this because last time I read the Constitution, I saw nothing about the right to charge.
It's incredible. And, you know, Jackie, the way you summed it up, the forced transition, this is really what this is all about. Obviously, anybody has a right to charge anything they like. What they're really getting at here with those words is they're saying that they're going to force you to pay for it. You know, they've been rolling out all these subsidies for EVs, trying to shove it down our throats. Joe Biden had $7,500 they were giving away to rich people who buy EVs. That apparently wasn't enough, and so now they're going to go ahead and force you. And, you know, this is going to end up being a burden. We don't have enough houses as it is. The housing market is frozen. They're not even building houses. And these charging stations, they're going to add north of $1,000 to every single new house built.
Wow.
Given that people are not even buying EVs, those things are going to collect dust. They're going to break down constantly, just like the public charging stations do. Yeah. It's just a pure crony handout to the EV industry.
Well, and of course, they're not listening to the market. They're not listening to what you said, that they're not selling and that the car companies are losing money for every EV that they sell. But we have to pay for it anyway. And it is a ridiculous attempt at trying to change our free will, because when you look at what's happened with the market is, the S&P is up 24% in 2023. The NASDAQ is up over 40%. The one sector that has fallen down, I think 24%, is the green energy sector. So it just absolutely makes no sense whatsoever.
And Washington cannot resist. You know, they hand out crony money. We had Solyndra during the Obama administration. Yeah. This green business, whether it's EV or the rest of it, this is going to be 1,000 Solyndras. Taxpayers are going to be on the hook for all those failures. And on top of that, at least Solyndra, they didn't force us to buy the thing. Here, they can't control themselves.
Yeah, this is next level Solyndra. Meantime, the American dream moves hopelessly out of reach for many under Bidenomics. Monthly mortgage payments have skyrocketed 90% since Biden took office. Owning a home is part of the American dream, Peter, and more people say, I guess that's not going to happen for me.
That's what we're seeing now. We're seeing media reports about forever renters, they're calling them. People who they drop off the treadmill and they never get back on. And, you know, home equity is one of the main vehicles for Americans to actually save money. That's a huge chunk of people's retirement accounts. Once, especially young families, once they fall off, right, once they turn to renting for their entire lives, they're not going to be able to build anything. And really what we've got here, again, is just a perfect storm coming out of Washington. So we've got house prices that absolutely soared during the pandemic, so up about 20%. That's round about $70,000 for the median house. Then you had mortgages that went from 3% to 7%. You put a $400,000 house, that's the median house at this point, you put that together with a 7% mortgage, there are a lot of people who cannot afford that. On top of it now, you've got property tax, which of course it goes up in lockstep with the home prices, and you've got insurance. Insurance is soaring all over the country. I live in Florida now. It's absolutely outrageous here. You can pay $5,000, $7,000 for a middle-class home. And according to the Wall Street Journal, they had a recent article, 17 million homeowners in America are going without insurance because it's too expensive.
You know, the other thing is
that nothing bad happens.
It's a matter of accumulating capital. A lot of people over generations have used their home as a source of capital. You can borrow against it. You can use it to eventually trade up and find something better. Young Americans don't have that ability anymore to have a source, to have a home as a source of capital quickly.
That's exactly right. And what you're seeing now is these millennials, they're complaining on TikTok. They say, I grew up in a house that my parents owned. I can only dream of that. I'm sitting here at 40 years old, living with roommates, eating ramen. It is a disgrace.
Yeah, or living at home, and they're living at their parents' home, which is not what they thought they'd spend the rest of their life doing. Peter, great to see you. Thank you for being here. Appreciate it.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.